got to put city before I go. I'm going to forget and I want to do it in the dark. I will. Instead of starving. Well, starving animals because they're trying to eat my plants now.
What's producing it?
Chemtrails. Didn't come back, but you can see where it dug up. It looked like it came back. The hint of blue? You mean the hint of blue sky has so much white and chemicals over it, it's not even blue, it's like a hazy blue. Chemtrailed. People don't know. I think this is normal. I think it's normal, so used to seeing it. They're a bunch of assholes.
Separating the truth from the lies. Coming at you from underneath the Newnan, Georgia, heavily chemtrailed sky. You're about to receive your dose of the shock treatment. We've been down this road many times before, folks. Party people and party sheeple. But I'm not going to stop helping sound the alarm, especially when I see things like this. Anybody who's looking at this and actually goes outside and looks up when they're doing this and thinks that that's normal, you're not. Because these are called chemtrails on the street lingo, or geoengineering, as Dane Wigington, of lead researcher and founder of geoengineeringwatch.org, would call it, geoengineering. Another phrase for the term for this is strategic aerosol injection. All right? And then there's cloud seeding, there's sun dimming, which Dane Wigington is coming up with a video documentary on the dimming of the sun. I call it Sun Simulator, giant white LED floodlight looking thing up there. But that aside, they're spraying you like a roach. Take a look at what they're doing right here in Newnan, Georgia. That's right, I caught them in action. And all this here, and all this here, and all this here comes from these. All right? It's not a storm system rolling in. It's being flown in. And I really don't know why this is so hard to believe. The Harvard's come out and admitted. I've already told you that. I've showed you the freaking, I showed you the website. NASA admits to doing it. Of course, they give their cockamamie reasons. And this is all part of controlling the weather. He who controls the weather controls the world. He who controls the weather, Lyndon B. Johnson said, controls the world. He who controls the weather. Take a look at that fatty over there, up there. But you think this is normal if you're a sheeple. Nah, the government wouldn't spray me like a roach. So tell me, since when is this normal right here? This fat line right here? And I see you checking in and checking out. It happens all the time. That's what they do. They check in and they check out. I would like to say they spray me like a roach, and roaches check in and don't check out in a roach motel. But they check out the viewers here because they can't handle this. Oh, or they're thinking, oh no, not that again. Yes, this again. Yes, I'm talking about it again. Because I'm trying to wake everybody up, damn it. And here's another one where they turn it on the disperser and turn it off. And this is an older one right here, which forms out to here, and then it connects to all this. All right? And then it becomes a total whiteout. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see it? I caught him in action. I caught him in action. Look at this. All this right here, sprayed, aluminum, strontium, barium. Don't believe me? Go check out geoengineeringwatch.org. All the patents are there. And they did it in World War II. They did it on the Ho Chi Minh Trail called Operation Popeye. And they're doing it because they can. They were controlling the weather using HAARP frequencies. And also this stuff trickles down and we're breathing the nanoparticulates. This thing runs deep. The agenda runs deep. It contains polymers, cadmium, I want to say manganese. I know the heavy metals are aluminum, strontium, barium. Let me ask you a question. Is that good for you? And by having cognitive dissonance, that does no one good, not even your children and grandchildren. Basically what you're doing is turning a blind eye to your captor, the one that has you captive, your torturer, right? The one who has you locked in the closet, all right? Torturing you, all right? The Stockholm Syndrome. You'll defend them. You'll defend your, the one that held you captive, the one that's tormenting you. You'll defend them and say, nah, they're okay. They're nice. That's a nice guy right there, even though he's tormenting me. He's a nice guy. This is your philosophy when you have cognitive dissonance. Because you see this stuff, and I'm telling you it, and you want to turn a blind eye. So you must like being abused. You must like being sprayed like a roach. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it ain't happening. It's right there. Since when does this look normal? Well, you remember this as a kid? You remember this 20 years ago, all this crap? You remember that? It's not a contrail, folks. It's time to wake the hell up. And if you don't think this is real, just go look up the Georgia Guidestones. In order for man to maintain harmony with nature, perpetual harmony, you have to keep the population at 500 million worldwide or under. Well, how are they going to do that? The GMOs, the chemtrails, the fluoride, chlorine crap, the tap water, the big pharma and side effects, the C word that rhymes with answer. And since when? Look at this. You got to be kidding me if you think this is all normal. You think this is normal? If you think this is normal, you're not. That is a freakish Frankenstein right there. But that's how they're going to get you. You could stop this. You could get on the same page. The more people that sound the alarm, they're going to back the hell off. But as long as you keep doing their bidding and naysaying everything, thinking your vaccines are okay, thinking your GMOs are okay, going running to your big pharma for all your big pharma needs and the side effects, thinking those are contrails, contraire mon frere, and thinking cell towers don't emit radiation, thinking they can't surveillance you, thinking the 5G is not going to be killer. As long as you keep doing all that, you're doing their bidding. You're allowing them. You're giving them consent. I don't consent. That's why I make these videos. That's why I talk about this. I don't consent to the 5G. I don't consent to vaccines. I don't consent to the GMOs. I don't consent to going to Big Pharma. I don't consent to anything unnatural, unholy. I just don't. And if you're a Christian, you shouldn't. And even if you're not a Christian, you shouldn't consent to any of this shit that's destroying the web of life.
Skies all over the world are being sprayed by jet aircraft with highly toxic heavy metal and chemical particulates that are related to and a part of planetary climate intervention programs. The aerosol spraying operations called solar radiation management have long since been fully deployed by governments around the globe without the knowledge or consent of their populations. This ongoing atmospheric assault is decimating Earth's life support systems and indeed the entire web of life itself. There are over 165 patents related to climate intervention processes, but the bottom line of reality is this. Every single one of us, along with all other living organisms, are breathing in what the climate engineers are spraying into our skies. Exposing and halting the global climate engineering assault must be our top priority. Make your voice heard. This is Dane Whittington with geoengineeringwatch.org.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean.
You should be in school.
Yet you all come to us young people for hope.
But they're exploiting
How
you.
dare you?
Exploiting the children.
You have
using them
stolen my
to push their
dreams,
agenda.
my
How dare you,
childhood
Greta?
with
You don't know what
your
you're talking
empty
about.
words.
First of all, you're a 16-year-old kid that don't know her ass from her elbow. You want to talk about your childhood dreams being stolen? What childhood has been stolen? You're 16 years old. Your childhood's already completed. What's been stolen? You lived your childhood. This is what I mean, the exploitation of children. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's leaving out the 800-pound gorilla in the room and the elf in the sky called chemtrail and called geoengineering. All right? They're leaving the story out. You want climate action? Get your ass behind the anti-chemtrail movement, the anti-geoengineering movement. Come join us and get on the same page instead of telling lies. All right? Telling lies about what the cause of the climate change. It's the geoengineering All right? Get the record straight, Greta. If you want to go talk about climate change, start going after the climate engineers. Get your facts right. All right? Because if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And you're part of the problem because you're pushing an agenda that's leaving out the truth. All right? So it's nothing but trying to get power and control us. That's what all this is about. Can't have cows, can't have planes, and all this other nonsense. AOC's a POS. So there's your climate change, Greta. Get it right. All right? Because this is fake news, what you're pushing, and the rest of these bastards talking about climate change that's leaving out geoengineering. Absolute insanity. I'm going to leave it right there. But I'll see you next time for show on the shock treatment. Unbelievable.